Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Football Friday on the Uninformed Fan. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Chad's in the house, Buff's in the house, and many, many more will be on the way. Hope everybody's having a great Friday, having a great week. Jeffrey, how are we doing this afternoon, my good friend?
Great. I mean, everybody in the house is sick. So there is that. But wife's super sick. 12-year-old's home, 2-year-old's home. Here we are, ready to go. I don't know. My camera looks weird. I don't like the angle right now.
The show must go on, Jeffrey. And
that's it.
Look at him powering through to give the people what they want.
Yeah. Power through work, power through everything.
It's called dedication, boys and girls.
Yeah.
If your football team doesn't have it, maybe you should call them out.
Hey, we're here.
We're here. Let's get it on.
Let's go.
Let's get on. Last night, we had the debacle of watching the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos in an absolute shit show of a game. It was terrible from the start. It was terrible at the end. This is just, before we get to the game, big news out of the trade deadline. Jakobi Meyers was traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, we talked about Jakobi Meyers on the show numerous times because he's on my fantasy team. And I was really looking forward to a Pittsburgh Steelers or a Buffalo Bills slotting. And instead, I get the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not sure that is an upgrade at all.
It's much better. What do you mean?
I don't think.
If he goes to Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers throws like 4 different tight ends. He hits Austin sometimes, and he focuses on DK Metcalf.
He also throws to 4 different tight ends because they have no number 2.
Okay. Maybe. Whatever. They have Robert Woods. I don't know. I haven't been on there all year, but whatever. Also, then you're going to say, okay, you hope that he goes to New England to then fit into what role? I mean, you saw Demario Douglas go crazy last week. Stephon Diggs has had huge weeks as well, too. I know Kayshon Boutte just got hurt. Looks like he's going to miss this week. But where exactly is he sliding into piece-wise? I don't know. Just to me, I don't know where the fit would have been. I think this is great for you. You're talking about he's got to beat out, Washington, De'Ami Brown, and then Brian Thomas Jr., who has stone hands right now. I heard Liam Cohen talking about Jakobi Meyers, saying he's followed him for a long time. He loves that he's played quarterback at certain times in his career as well, too, and he's able to grasp offenses. So I think this is great for you. I don't know.
It might be. We'll see. Just not a huge fan of Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, which we've all put on paper. We've all said it. Just not a lot of faith in that Jacksonville offense. And of course, going into this week, obviously a short week after being traded to try to learn the offense, and then you're going right up against the Houston Texans defense, which has him promptly on my bench this week. Now, after that, this week, after this week, then I think, we'll start to see a little bit more go to the Chargers, Cardinals, Tennessee, Colts, Jets. So I mean, there's definitely a path there. We just got to get past this week and see what happens. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Raiders, you would think Brock Bowers would have a little bit more of a target share with Jacoby Myers gone, or maybe even Trey Turner. But no, the Las Vegas Raiders do not know how to throw the ball. They do not know how to effectively run the ball. And Pete Carroll is just shoving out a hobbled Geno Smith over and over again, who's one of the bottom feeders of the quarterbacks of the leagues, instead of putting out Kenny Pickett. I know you have some strong words for this one, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get any part of this game. I didn't understand. It's like you trade away Jacoby Myers. You now have Trey Tucker, on the outside to go along with, Mayer and go along with, a guy who caught 12 balls for, 3 touchdowns and, over 130 yards last week in Brock Bowers. I just don't understand how he only gets 4 targets. And you're out there running Geno, like Pete Carroll needs to be investigated. How do you keep running Geno Smith out there in this game when you're going against the number one blitzing defense in the NFL against a quarterback who gets sacked at one of the highest rates in the entire NFL, who doesn't stay in the pocket and take hits and stand tall in the pocket and deliver throws, who is non-mobile as well too. Now you take out one of his legs and you're going to continue to run him out there until the very end when the game is already out of reach. And then you announce with 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter that he is now questionable to return. Also, using your 2 timeouts there before the 2-minute warning, I don't think makes any sense personally to me. Basically, you're going to allow them to matriculate the ball down to get into better range, to set themselves up with shorter fields. Why not just let it run down to the 2-minute warning? You suck all the life out of the game. You have 2 timeouts. You play defense. The ball's on the 45-yard line. You now play defense. Boom. Stop the run on first down. Timeout. Stop the run on second down. Timeout. And then sit there on third down and make them make a decision. Are they going to go kick a field goal to go up by 6? Are they going to go for it on, and throw the ball? Or are they going to run the ball again? I just, I don't know. I thought it was mismanaged personally from my perspective. But what do I know? I'm over here just an uninformed fan screaming at the TV.
Absolutely. Look who's guest conductor in the chat over there, Jeffrey. Looks like a lot of shade being thrown, not getting on Battlefield due to your wife's illness. Is this the excuse that's been thrown out?
I have no idea what any of them are talking about.
You've been leaving the boys hanging on the battlefield.
First of all, let me just say this.
Free Ian. You wanted him freed. Here he is.
Let me just say this, is that my wife, yes, was sick this morning. So when you guys said, hop on and play Battlefield before the podcast, and I said, I cannot because I need to sit here and take care of my wife before I start the podcast. Sorry. Yeah, I have bigger priorities than going out and not getting a kill in Battlefield and moving around at a snail's fucking pace because I don't have a loadout. I didn't buy the game. I don't want to participate in any of that shit, right? Both of you can fuck right off. And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart.
Hashtag free Ian. He is free.
He can spam whatever he wants to in the chat. Stop.
The Z's is free.
Poor. Kind of like your golf game on Wednesday, huh? Yeah.
Oh boy, it's getting personal now. Well, when the DraftKings lineup for the single game hits 79, and that's the winner with both defenses, then it's a pretty shit game. It definitely was. Shouldn't even been televised. Jeff, I think the more important thing here is we have the Broncos sitting at 8-2, and I don't think there's a person out there that believes in this team. And they're absolute frauds. They could probably be 5-5 at minimum, if not a losing record. Obviously, though, with an 8-2 record, unless the shambles completely fall off, this team is going to sneak in somehow. Is this a first rounding out here, Jeff?
Well, let's just run down their wins so far that they've had. They beat Jake Browning and the Bengals. They're 3-6. They beat Geno Smith and the Raiders by 3 points. They're 2-7. Davis Mills and the Texans last week. Barn burner.
Which we all hammered the Texans.
3-5 Texans. Shout out.
CJ Stroud.
Shout out to them. Congratulations. They beat the 1-7 New York Football Jets. The score was 13-11. They beat Jackson Dart by 1 point. And they were getting crushed the entire game. And they beat Cam Ward and the Titans by 1 score as well, too.
And I do
So
believe all of those games, they were down going into the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. All of them.
pretty much, yeah. And I mean, obviously they beat the Eagles as well too, so we can't discount that. They did beat Philly, but yeah, pretty
Was
tough.
Philly blindfolded?
You would think they were playing for Helen Keller.
Well, that kicked off our week 10. Let's wrap up week 9. The Cardinals and the Cowboys on Monday night. Absolutely crazy game that happened here Monday night. But the big story here is Marshawn Nealon found apparent a suicide yesterday after leading the cops on a high-speed chase. I guess there's some more information coming out. Jeremy said that it was just a mental breakdown, and he was trying to cop suicide, I guess is how it goes. Absolutely terrible thing. Just goes to show that, everybody go from one high to a super, super low. We're talking about Monday night. He blocked the punt or the kick, ran it back for a touchdown. And then 2 days later, here we're talking about this. So our thoughts and prayers are obviously with the Cowboys family and his family as well. And just brings up another point. If you're having these thoughts, or you're having something, you are loved, you are wanted, and please reach out to somebody.
Yeah, please reach out to somebody. Not sure who, but reach out to whoever you need to. There's plenty of outlets there for you as well too. Super sad. I guess his I don't know, his girl got a text. Did you have a thing? Thank you very much. Sorry, my headphones are about to die because my son refuses to charge them before he goes to sleep at night. So I do apologize about that. Do have to switch them out here. But yeah, very, very sad. High-speed chase, kills himself. Unfortunate.
Yeah. On a positive note, the Cowboys did make a trade for Quentin Williams, which was a big trade that went through, obviously, to fill the hole of Micah Parsons. Apparently, the Bears were also involved in this trade, but unfortunately could not apparently get to the level that the Cowboys. So that's a big piece for the Cowboys defense, which obviously needs a little help on the pass rush. Also, I guess, kind of solidifies Jerry Jones had a plan, I guess, going into this. After the previous game, he did say that there were some trades in the works, trades in progress, which a lot of people are like, okay, Jerry. And here we go. He does get it up there. Thoughts on, obviously, I think that's a big pickup for Dallas. I mean, he was a coveted defensive end that a lot of people were going after, and Dallas is the one that snagged him. I do believe it was a first-round pick, and then was it Logan Wilson that they sent as well?
Logan Wilson came over in a separate trade that they had. I think in the one they had that actually went for Quentin Williams, there was a second rounder, a first rounder, and Maisie Smith as well.
Yeah, Maisie Smith. Yeah, so two for a first rounder and Maisie Smith.
Yeah, so kind of when you round out that trade now with Parsons, they basically got Kenny Clark, they got Quentin Williams, and they got a first rounder to go with it. So
plus they got the two first rounders from Green Bay.
Right. Well, one of those, I believe they traded away to get Quentin Williams.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So
they kept one, traded one for another
correct.
impactful player.
Okay. Correct. Yeah, and I don't mind. I mean, Quentin Williams, obviously, coming out. And I think the Jets have made some really shrewd moves. I know a lot of people disagree with that. I think this is a terrible move by the Cowboys. I actually like it from the Cowboys. I think especially if you're building going forward, you put Kenny Clark and now Quentin Williams in the middle of that defense to be able to be a cog. They're not going to be able to run the ball. Now you got Logan Wilson to come downhill as well too. I think you can get a little bit more creative in terms of what you can do on defense. I don't mind it at all. I like. I guess
the head scratcher was you're making this trade now. Like, do you really think the Cowboys are still in contention this year? It just goes back. It just goes back to the before with the Jerry Jones and the Micah Parsons deal. And I know that we talked about they were trying to get something done, but that should have been done at the draft, and you would have got such a bigger haul for it. Now your team's reeling. The defense is absolutely garbage. And then you give up another first rounder for this. Obviously, there's going to be some type of extension, hopefully, to make that trade a little bit more viable. And he is 28 years old, I believe.
He's already under contract. So he just signed an extension, I believe, a year or two ago. So, it was basically him, Garrett Wilson, and Sauce Gardner, who were the, three big people who the Jets signed. And they've now given up on two of them. And kept one. So
we'll definitely get into the Jets, but I agree with you. I think the Jets are poised to make some moves here. On the other half of the ball, the Cardinals, the Jacoby Myers obviously gets it done, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But the Cardinals get it done here 27-17 to wrap up our week 9.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett. What did I say? Jacoby Myers.
You did. You and Jacoby Myers are just one in lockstep right now with each other.
You know, I connect with my fantasy players, bro.
Right.
Like it's a
On
deeper connection
level.
than most. Yeah, and
Like
that's why
docking.
I feel like that's why I take this so personal, right? When they don't perform, because I give them my all and I give them my attention. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He prays for you at night before he goes to bed. Personally, not even fantasy
football
wise. It just matters. He cares for you as a human being.
I don't think so. No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't think that's accurate. No, I don't think he even knows or cares about me the way I feel about.
I was saying you pray for them and their well-being, not just on the football field, but also in personal matters in life as well too.
I pray for all humans, and it's definitely needed right now. Well, the week 10 is going to get us kicked off overseas once again. The Falcons taking on the Colts. Colts coming off a bad loss here, looking to bounce back. Big news here: the Colts trade for Sauce Gardner, 2 first-rounders, and AD Mitchell. Wow. To me, I know that Jeffrey, I know your feelings on it, which is why I put that in the group chat. I'm going to let Jeff just handle this. I don't know if there's a corner out there that would be worth 2 first-rounders plus another mid-tier receiver. I think that the Indianapolis Colts, okay, whatever. It strengthens their secondary, whatever. I mean, obviously, it's still a depth piece. The kid can still play. Hopefully, he can get back to his first couple years form. If not, whatever. But this seems like they gave up a lot, and the Colts are all in on this year. Danny Jones or bust.
Justice, what am I supposed to do? I'm not supposed to look at the comments? Well, come on. This is an interactive show. We're one of the best interactive shows in all of
we
shows out there. So I'm out here. I'm going to respond to everything that you said. And I did say docking, and I absolutely did. That's how close we are. Listen, a few things about this. First of all, Sauce Gardner, in my opinion, one of the most overrated corners in the NFL. Do I think he's top 7 or 8 corners? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think that he's top 2 or 3? Absolutely not. I mean, I would take
2 first rounds.
I would take Surtain. I would take maybe Christian Gonzalez all over him as well. So
I'll take Jalen Johnson over him.
That guy can't be on the field. So
when he is, better.
Also have that as well too.
Hey, you can't get cooked when you're not on the field.
I also don't know. Like, I think hypothetically, when you put this team all together and everybody's healthy and you have Sauce and you have Chardavius Ward and the other people are going to get back, I do think the secondary will be much better than it has been. But it has also been absolutely atrocious this entire year. So there's only one way to go, and that's up. Now, Sauce has been cooked this year. I think he's just been mentally checked out. I think being in that Jets mindset has really messed with him. And maybe, listen, being back in the Midwest, he went to Cincinnati. Maybe being back. Maybe being back and being with the Colts, like maybe that'll be more of a grounding thing for him, and he'll come out and perform better. But from what I've seen, I would not have given up 2 first. I think the Colts had to do it,
and a player,
because I think they were so pigeonholed on where are you going to go get these people from? These people, these guys don't just grow on trees. Your next draft picks for the next few years, if you project this out and you say you're going to keep this team together, and Daniel Jones is going to be your quarterback for the next 2 or 3 years, your draft picks are going to be in the late first round. Are you really getting one of the top shutdown, premier, amazing cornerbacks coming out of college at the 28 to 32 range? I don't think so. So I think this was kind of a desperate move that they had to make to be able to shore that up, and we'll see how it plays out. It's very easy to judge right now. Let's see how it plays out throughout the end of this year, and then we'll judge it after that.
I'm just looking at straight trades. I mean, this is the exact same thing as the Micah Parsons trade. 2 first rounders and a player for Micah Parsons. And I think that we could both agree that regardless of, you wouldn't talk about impactful performance, I don't think that Micah Parsons and Sauce Gardner are on the same level when it comes to impactful performance. And this is something that we're talking about as far as, now Micah Parsons doesn't have a contract. I'll say that. So who knows what this, Green Bay signed him.
He does have a contract, but.
Yeah, Green Bay signed him after the trade. There was no, and Sauce just got his contract. So, I mean, he is under contract. I just look at it that way. It's like, we're talking about Micah Parsons as potentially one of the top 2 defensive players on the field at this moment who got traded for 2 first rounds and a player. And then we're talking about Sauce Gardner, who might be in the top 10 of a corner and get the package look the same. That's all. To me, to your point, the Colts had to make something. Shout out to the Jets, who absolutely fleeced them, in my opinion. And the Jets are absolutely loaded with picks for the next couple of years for the full rebuild that's obviously incoming.
Here's the
But
thing.
let's get back to the stop.
We've talked about this. Is that I love that you went and gathered picks. I love that you went ahead and shedded some cap space. The problem is that I have never trusted you,
nor of your fans,
to be able to draft or be able to spend money wisely in free agency. So you're gonna have to show me, and we'll see. We'll see if any of it actually matters. I don't know how it will, but we'll see. If
obviously, they're going to have to go after a quarterback, so they're going to be 2 first rounds this year, 2 first rounds next year. You also have Justin Fields under contract next year, which if you're me, or if I'm the GM and I don't find somebody that I absolutely love, there's no shot I'm taking a first round quarterback. I maybe continue to tank up for Arch, right? When is Arch coming out? And just leave it, let him go. But yeah, I mean, 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders this year. I do believe 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders the next year. There's a lot of picks there, and there's a lot of draft capital. To your point, Jeff, if they get some pieces this year, right? Or I'm sorry, in the next draft, the 2026 draft, in that 2026 class, and that team, we can see a little bit of an improvement. Now you can trade away one of your 2027 first round picks and get that impactful player that you just said, they don't grow on trees. You have to find them sometimes. Gives them a lot of capital to be able to go out and get somebody, but there are a lot of pieces off, and starting with the quarterback. I mean, obviously you can't have a quarterback out there like Justin Fields, who obviously performed well after getting shit on by his owner, but you can't have keep a quarterback that's getting shit on by its owner.
And I think the other issue too is, Aaron Glenn looks over his skis. I think he made a comment this week saying something like, we told the fans that they would be proud of us. I didn't say it would be this year. You haven't even named a starting quarterback for this week. Like, where is the direction of your fucking football team?
I don't see how.
And it starts with ownership. It starts at the top.
For sure.
He is one of the worst owners in the NFL. He has been consistently, and you have, no matter what, if your leadership at the very top is that. What's the quote from? And I'll just leave with this. Remember the Titans. Attitude reflects leadership, right? And if your leadership is that poor, it matriculates down the entire organization, and this is what you're left with.
And just to your point about naming the quarterback, it's absolutely wild to me that, again, I want to see Justin Fields succeed, but I also agree, and I can see his shortcomings. But after that performance that he put up after being called out, and you're still not going to name him the starting quarterback, to me, you have no team synergy. You have nowhere to look at. I don't know how the players in the locker room look at Justin Fields. I know that there's a lot of talk between the coaches and some of the upper management about making the switch, but you were going to do it last week because of an injury, and then Justin Fields goes out there and plays quarterback position better than he has the entire year. So, yeah, to me, that's just weird.
Yeah, and like Breece Hall is literally 1 foot, 1.5 feet out the door, right? The Kansas City Chiefs offered a fourth for him. They wanted a third. The deal was pretty much done. They're like, no, we want a third, actually. They're like, we're not going to give you a third. So, welcome back, Breece Hall. Go ahead and run hard the rest of the year when you're going to be a free agent at the end of the year as a running back. Let's see how that plays out.
Why would you not just give him the third?
I don't know.
Is it that big of a deal?
I guess. I don't know.
I guess they feel like they can get it. But anyway, the Falcons are heading over there. Jeff, is this a bounce back game for the Colts? Colts are favored here by 6.5. A lot of questions in regards to the run game. Getting that done. Being able to implement that on the Falcons. Obviously, their primary focus of the Colts is going to be to stop Drake London. So Saucy is going to be on him. And then obviously bottom up Bijan Robinson. What is your outlook for this game here?
These London games, these 9:30 games are always interesting to be able to predict. But I will say this. If the number stays below 7, I don't mind the Colts line. If the number goes above 7, I'd definitely be on the Falcons. It should be a bounce back, but this is also, you're getting into Atlanta is going to be in a territory where they're desperate. They can't afford they can't afford too many more losses. And so we always talk about hungry dog eating. Is this one of those situations where they're just going to want it more? And honestly, the Colts division is for all intents and purposes pretty much locked up. I don't see them faltering too much. And I do have a little stretch here, but I don't know.
We'll
Be
see
a
what
fun
happens.
9:30 game to wake up to for sure.
It is, and honestly, I love it. Absolutely love it. There's a few things that I just love about Sundays. Obviously, when F1 is not in our time zone, I wake up. Usually, I have an F1 race at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, followed into a little Sunday football, or sorry, Sunday countdown with a little breakfast, straight into football. Love Sundays, man. Sundays are great. Little church on the television in between.
You know what I had this morning? I haven't had in forever. I had a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Can we talk about one of the all-time, and first of all, we do have to go back and pay homage to French toast sticks from Burger King. One of the most amazing things that they did as well, too. But the McGriddle really was a game changer when it came to breakfast and sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, McDonald's breakfast is underrated, but it's also very expensive when it comes to fast food breakfast. But yeah,
it is crazy, man. You go to like First Watch for the same price.
Yeah, it is a little expensive.
I get
one of the games of the week, Jeffrey. The New England Patriots are headed to Tampa to take on Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Two MVP aspiring quarterbacks. Bucks favored here by 2.5. Jeff.
Yeah,
kind of obviously a toss-up game here. Big game for both teams, if you ask me. Not necessarily because either one needs to win as far as their record goes, as far as getting into the playoffs. But this is just a game to say, okay, these are two playoff teams, two aspiring playoff teams, two playoff teams on a record. Let's go toe-to-toe and let's see how it gets done.
I think this game's interesting. New England playing down here in Tampa at 1 o'clock. I understand that it is in November. I played golf on Wednesday. It is still 80 degrees outside. It is still hot. You are still sweating. There is no shade in that stadium.
There's a cold front coming, though.
Is there?
Yeah. Well, I know it's Tuesday. The high is 55 or something like that. But
when does it pass through?
It comes through. Nope. It will be 84 on Sunday.
Yeah.
84 on Sunday, 64 on Monday. So it's going to come through at some point.
Through Sunday night. Looks like, and clear everything out. This is a big Buck spot coming off of a bye. You're going against Drake May. The Bucks have historically been decent against running quarterbacks, except for Jaden Daniels in the playoffs last year. But if you look at their stats against guys like Jalen Hurts and even Josh Allen to a sense as well too, I just think this is one of those Bulls games where he's going to dial some things up. This is a defensive game. I don't think Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin are going to be back. It looks like. I thought for sure they would be, but it does appear that they are both still not practicing. So big sad there.
Bucky would have been back by now.
Yeah, me too. And even somebody like a random fan DM Bucky last week and said, "Bucky, I need you back, bro. Are you coming back?" He said, "I'll be good to go this week." And still,
all that, and I can't get a text back from Kyle Trask.
Not be seen at practice. But Gadecki looks like he's going to be back, which is good news as well too, to get more offensive line help. So this will be interesting. Christian Gonzalez is fully healthy. Is he going to just take away Emeka Egbuka? Who's that going to then turn to? Is that going to be a K-Dot? And is that going to be a Tez Johnson? Is that going to be a Sterling Shepard? Where's the ball going to go to from Baker Mayfield? I guess would be my question. So
the good thing about it is there's a lot of options.
What's the total on this game?
48.5. I'm with Chad here. I
kind of like the under Bucks here. Honestly,
I do like the Bucks, and I just snagged them at 2.5 minus 110 on the Hard Rock app. 2 units. So we're back to DJ gambling. There's
probably going to be a couple teams that I take on like a money line parlay. I think the Bucks will probably be one of them, just because I think they'll win. I think the next game we're going to talk about will probably be another one of them as well too. But
well, let's talk about it, Jeffrey. Also, just a quick note here: your former Buck Antonio Brown extradited back to the United States to face attempted murder charges.
It just sucks, dude. Like, leave him in Dubai. What the fuck are we doing? Why do we got to bring him back? He left. He's over there. Let them deal with him.
Because they taunted him, or he taunted them. He was basically on social media being like, "I'm in Dubai. You're not touching me." Blah blah blah. Like,
don't bring him back. Just leave him.
Yeah. I think that
he'll do something stupid there. He'll guarantee do something stupid there, and then he'll be locked up there. You don't got to worry about it. It is
or dead.
And also, like, attempted murder. Like, nobody got killed. Like,
that was that fight or whatever that he had the torn shirt and he was shooting at somebody.
He fired a weapon off.
Did he? I don't know, but get hit. Yeah. No, we're 110 here on the Hard Rock. We finally got a good line. Giants headed to the Chicago Bears coming off that wild game against Cincinnati. Bears also at the trade deadline pick up Joe Tryon, and I'm not even going to try it. I'm just going to say Joe Tryon.
Shinoika.
All right. Shinoika. All right, there we go. A little bit of edge help here for our journey. I don't know what Obiagin or something like that tore his ACL, that he's out for the season. So a little bit of depth there. Not a huge splash on the trade deadline from the Chicago Bears. We did go after Quentin Williams. I thought it was interesting, though, that they still did make a trade. You know, this was one of the conversations I was having with Cousin Clay. Are the Bears buyers or they should be sellers? You know, obviously we're one game back of the division, but this Bears team has a lot of holes still. The secondary is very banged up. You know, do you go ahead and give up capital for this year? Kind of one of those things that, you know, the Bears are obviously, you know, kicking above their standards, if you want to call it this. The defense is absolutely getting shredded. Got to be a very interesting game here with the Giants front line. This line has already moved a full point, opened up at 3.5. My biggest question again is the Bears secondary. Now I know that Jackson Dart doesn't have a whole lot of targets to throw to in his secondary, but the Bears secondary is absolutely banged up and getting just scorched earth. So it's going to be very interesting here. I do have Bears tentatively in my survivor pool at this moment. That will be something that I'm going to have. Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, TJ said, you know, sometimes you just got to roll the dice and pick.
That didn't work for TJ last week. He took the Cowboys.
Nobody wants.
Took the Cowboys and he took the Packers. That didn't work.
I agree with you, Chad. I do believe. You know, Giants plus 4.5. This is a trap game for the Bears coming back home. But I have more faith in Ben Johnson.
Yeah, especially coming off of an emotional win and stuff.
We saw everything that they did in Cincinnati. Just point, you know, Caleb Williams is starting to get trusted more. There's just so many weapons here, man. I mean, to just point yesterday, we put up like 47 points, and Roma Duze didn't have a touch. That's wild that your number one doesn't even have a touch. DJ Moore steps up. Colson Loveland fills in. And let's not forget, the Giants have failed to stop running backs from over 100 yards, and I think the last 4 games. And DeAndre Swift will be back. He said he should have been back last game, but the Bears were like, nah, we don't need you this game. Rest up for this one. I think between DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monunga, I think they're going to absolutely just run the ball down the throat. The Bears were the highest rated offensive line last week. I think they're going to control the clock. I think Ben Johnson will have this thing schemed up to keep the ball out of Jackson Dart's hands. I think that the win is in the bag, although it is a trap game. 4.5 does seem a lot to me, though.
It's interesting. This supposedly this game is going to be affected potentially by some weather, from what I understand. So I've heard
even favors the Bears even more.
I've heard cold and rainy, which to me give me the team that's just going to run the ball over and over and over again, which I think is going to be the Chicago Bears. The Giants are 32nd in the NFL against the run, I believe. Is that correct?
It's bad.
Their secondary is terrible. Now, this is a different beast, right? You're not playing the Bengals. So I understand that you were the highest graded offensive line last week, but you're playing probably the worst defense in the NFL, hands down. This is going to be a little bit different going against Brian Burns and going against Kayvon Thibodeau and going against Abdul Carter and going against Dexter Lawrence. So,
and that's why I feel Ben is going to be able to scheme that a little bit, right? You know, to have those short crossing routes, everything. The weather here, to your point, high of 37, windy, snow showers before noon, partly cloudy later, high in the mid-30s, chance of snow 40%. Is this going to be the first game that we're going to see Caleb in a cold weather environment?
No, he's played cold weather before. This might be the first snow game we'll see out of Caleb.
Where did he play cold weather?
What do you mean?
Well, certainly was at USC.
You mean last year? Didn't have any cold games last year? What do you mean?
I'm still considering this Caleb's rookie year, dude. It's Bears math. Bears math. You know, don't worry.
Sure.
Very interesting here. But yeah, to your point, that defensive line from the Giants is going to be interesting. But again, I feel like, I don't know, Jeremy, is Cole Kmet back this week? I don't know. He suffered a concussion. But, I mean, you have Cole Kmet, you have Colson Loveland, you got Odunze, you got Zacchaeus, DJ Moore. I mean, you got so many check down weapons, bro. Like, just, yeah. Yeah.
Listen, Kamanunga as well too, over 39.5 rushing yards. I get DeAndre Swift is back, but there comes a certain point where you can't ignore what you just saw last week. And
It's
I
going to
think
be the same thing as Detroit. You're going to see before this year. Before this year, you saw Gibbs and Montgomery pretty much splitting. I think it's going to get to that. I really do.
I actually have both Swift and Manunga in a league, and I'm thinking about starting them both this week.
I have them both in the big league, and they are both in my starting lineup at the moment. My biggest question is going to be, do I start Josh Downs over Alvin Kamara? And I feel like, but I went back and looked, and we'll get into that one here. Actually, I'll wait to do that in a second. But yeah, Bears love the win here. It's going to be a sloppy game. I think the under, what is the over under here, Jeffrey? 46 and a half.
A lot. I like the under too.
That might be a good under here. But I will also say this, betting fans, every time the Chicago weather kicks up and everyone hammers the under, somehow it's an offensive explosion. I'm just going to put that warning out there. Parental express, right there on the CD label. Bet with caution. You just never know what's going to happen.
Colcom at full practice yesterday.
Oh, beautiful. Doesn't good for Colson Loveland, but yeah, top 10 pick, breakout, whatever. Ravens headed to the Vikings. Another big game for the NFC North here, Jeffrey. Ravens did make some moves here. Let's see here. The Ravens picked up Drummond Jones, linebacker out of Tennessee. Is that right? Yep, Tennessee. They picked up them. And then they also sent Jair Alexander to the Eagles, which is a little head-scratching here. Eagles always being active. Baltimore Ravens here favored by 4.5. We saw JJ be serviceable, I guess. We saw also the Minnesota Vikings and the defense and the exotic looks that they brought that got the pressure that really disrupted the game last week. I think that last week's Vikings win versus the Detroit Lions was more about the defense than it was the offense. This is the Ravens team that looked to got their confidence back by playing the Bears the previous 4.5 still seems like a lot at home for the Minnesota Vikings, Jeffrey.
Yeah, if this game was in Baltimore, I would not feel great about Minnesota's chances. But the fact that it's in Minnesota, I don't know. I picked up JJ in our big league, and I'm thinking about starting him.
That's a bold move.
Yeah. I mean, I've made some bold moves so far to start this year. Benching Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall week 1 to start after you draft them in the 4th and 5th rounds is a bold move.
So you're thinking JJ over Jordan Love and the Eagles?
Yeah.
Well, it is a dome. I don't know. My biggest question is that Baltimore defense. We saw the defense actually step up. Roquan Smith and some of the other boys back. Last week we started to see that things kind of click a little bit. Obviously, they shut down the Bears secondary and Ben Johnson's offense. That would be my only concern.
I feel like this game is going to remind me of the Bears game with the Vikings, where one team just looks incredible for 3 quarters, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. And the narrative is going to be, you guys got to watch out. Baltimore's going to win this division and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, JJ McCarthy's, going to have a 4th quarter.
I can see them doing a backdoor cover.
The Ravens just, they don't finish games like they used to.
They implode.
They just fall apart. And so I could just see this being one of those things where they fall asleep again and JJ just has some magic in him and like the Bears game and comes back in the 4th quarter and just hits it. And so I don't know. I don't think I'll probably bet this game, but
I was gonna say I'd stay away on that one.
I might I don't know. There might be a round robin on a money line sprinkle in here on those Vikings.
We shall see. Again, I could see them doing a backdoor cover here, but I think 4.5 is still a lot. We'll see. Jags headed to Texans. Obviously, we talked about Jacksonville Jaguars getting Jacoby Myers on that team. Unfortunately, CJ Stroud is out for the Texans. That is bad news if you're a Texans fan, because the Texans offense, especially against the Denver Broncos game before, was absolutely reeling. We know that the Texas defense, what that is, and the shutdown abilities they have. Now we have to go to Davis Mills once again, just proves how important a backup quarterback is. I absolutely hate this for the Texans. I thought they could make a sneaky comeback in this division. I don't know though. Jags to me are just a discombobulated organization. I said that before when they got Jacoby Myers. To your point, what you said, there's no really wide receivers that feast in this offense. Short week again, and now you get to go up against the Texans corners, who are obviously very top in the league. I don't know. I could see this being just an ugly, ugly game and an ugly win, where maybe it's a 1-point game or something of that nature.
Well, probably why the line is 1.
And a half.
That's +1 at Hard Rock.
Oh, there you go.
I agree. It's a stay away game. If anything, I'll bet the Texans.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Big news though, Jeffrey. Pending a ratification, the Jacksonville Jaguars will be playing their home games in Orlando for the 2027 season. And I do believe the 3 times said that the 2 games that they will have that year at home are going to be the Bucs and the Dolphins, which I thought that's absolutely just shit. Like what better way to just Miami, come on up, Tampa, come on, like give me a break, man. These are out of town teams. Man. We don't need the same teams in the same freaking state coming here. Nah, I mean it's good for you because you'll get a obviously, Jeff, this is really going to test your paper fandom. It's now in your own backyard. It's now the game's going to be in your own backyard. It's so
tough to get downtown is the problem.
Here we go.
It's
here we go.
It's the traffic. It's the battling the people. I don't know, man. We'll see.
I think that's going to be the highlight to stay at the local watering hole for that game.
There's a distinct possibility that we make it to the game.
Come the toilet bowl game of the week. The Browns headed to the Jets. Yeah. Topping off the Jets here, just a little bit of an old former Jet, Mark Sanchez, has been officially fired by Fox after his latest incident. Jeff, where's the video of this? There's got to be a video, right? I mean, why have we not seen this video yet?
I've seen it.
Well, I know. You see him like running back and forth, but there's no video of the actual attack. Correct?
No, I think there's video of the actual attack.
Is there 3 times? If so, can you try to track it down? Put it in the chat there. I would love to see Tyson. I don't like anything here, Jeffrey. I do like what they did as far as trading all of these picks and all the first rounds. I think the Browns. I think that the under here. What is the under? 25? What's the over under here? 37.5. I think that the under here is a lock. As I look at Odd Shark, it obviously says over.
Jags Texans is actually lower. Go figure.
That's crazy to me. And this is crazy to me. Odd Shark has Cleveland 19, New York 27.
Yeah. Okay. I actually love the Jets in this spot. I think you get one of those situations. And first of all, we're going to talk about it. Dillon Gabriel, we've said all year, terrible. He's not good. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's like a poor man's Tua. It's sad, but it is what it is. And so we were going to love the Jets going into this matchup no matter what, because you don't like Dillon Gabriel. And the fact that they got rid of Sauce Gardner and, Quinnen Williams, is that really like running me off of fading Dillon Gabriel? I don't think so, because I didn't think that either of them were super impactful for the defense anyway. So, yeah, still give me the Jets here catching plus points at home once again, just like the Texans. It just seems like a bet that you have to make.
Well, let me stop you right there, sir. Not so fast. This is not a bet I have to make at all.
It's a bet I have to make.
This is what we talked about. We're going to be sweating.
The Jets +2 at home.
You're going to be sweating on the afternoon and be like, why am I betting on these 2 shit teams? And that's just the way it is. So he has not named a quarterback?
No, he has not.
Unbelievable. Just what a power.
He said he's not going to. It's nobody's business until game time.
Whatever. It better be Justin. Yeah, that game sucks. Speaking of more sucky games, Saints go to the Panthers. Jeff, this is my other one, right? My other survivor for this week.
Panthers.
Do I trust the Carolina Panthers against the New Orleans Saints this week, Jeff.
This is so either way, you're opening up your heart to be broken. And you know this. How many times have you gotten screwed by the Carolina Panthers? How many
Too
times
many to count.
have you said, I will never, ever, ever, ever bet the Carolina Panthers? How many times have you cursed Bryce Young's name? Right? Too many to count, Tyson. And you're opening your heart to be hurt again. And then the other option that you're going with is your home team, the Chicago Bears, in a snowy, rainy game against the fiery Jackson Dart and the New York Football Giants. You just love pain, don't you?
I'm in shambles, bro.
You're opening yourself up to being absolutely hurt and accosted here.
But I could also be lifted on the shoulders and carry it out.
You could.
I could take the Bills. I still have the Bills available, which we're going to talk about them. But anyway, we'll get back to that in just a second. Saints Panthers here. Obviously, this is one of the things I just talked about beforehand as comes to fantasy football is, do I actually start Alvin Kamara anymore? Or do I start Josh Downs? Downs. After looking over the Panthers and the Panthers run defense, I'm not sure where they rank overall for the NFL season, but the last few games, they have literally, there was one game, the Bills, where Cook just absolutely torched them. But outside of that, they have held some pretty good backs to under 40 yards. And if you do start Alvin Kamara here, you're basically gambling that you get a touchdown. That's the only way you're going to score points. So you're looking like 50 yards. I don't know what his over-under is. I'd probably say around 55, 60 yards. I think that's a stretch. But you're really just banking on here is, can he touch pay dirt? I don't know.
I think Taysom Hill's odds of scoring a touchdown are about the same as Alvin Kamara's. Not in actual perpetuity and what's actually out there, but in actual what I believe the odds are for either of them to score a touchdown. I would take Taysom Hill's odds should be less than Alvin Kamara's. Personally, this game to me, God, it's ugly. It's so ugly. And Bryce Young and the Panthers, they've been better at home.
Alvin Kamara plus 130.
Taysom Hill's probably plus 210.
I don't see Taysom Hill even on here.
I'll find it. Don't you worry.
He's not. There's no odds for him.
Huh.
Not available.
Is he hurt?
No, I just think that they're not going to put odds on him because they don't know how to cap it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this game. Chad loves the Saints. Take the money line. I'll ride with Chad. Chad's one of the sharpest bettors that I have come across. Guy's got great mind, great vision for things like this that I am sometimes blind and cannot see.
Well, that's where my feel comes in. Just like yesterday when I sent out the text, we taking the Raiders plus 9.5. It just seemed to me like it was just a feel. I had a feeling. Yeah. And then I was talked out of it by the logic. And then the feelings would have triumphed. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I can't take the Panthers here. It was never even slotted. The Bears are in the slot. And it definitely feels like a game that you just said, like everybody's talking about, the Panthers coming off of a big win, Saints in shambles, just traded Rashid Shaheed. Father Time's being talked about, Alvin Kamara. So he probably goes for like 500 yards and 4 touchdowns in this game. So we'll see what happens here. Bills headed to the Dolphins. The Dolphins just absolute shambles. Bills minus 8.5 here, but this feels like a trap game for the Bills, Jeffrey. And before we get into the Dolphins in their state, we'll give you the thoughts on this game in particular. I still think this is a trap game for the Bills. I think 8.5. I guess you just never know what Bills team is going to come on the field, in my opinion.
Well, let's talk about why it's a trap game, right? Bills are terrible against the run. Miami does run the ball. Bills secondary, hot garbage, and have been hot garbage. And Miami,
hot garbage.
Okay. Now let's talk about the other way.
Fan? Are you a Tua fan?
I might start Tua in a league this week. Over Caleb. Yep. Well, what? It's Caleb Williams, right? Patrick Mahomes is on a bye. I got no other choices. So yeah, Tua.
I think. Well, yeah, not with the weather. Yeah, but like I said, you just never know. Yeah.
Yeah, Tua is getting a look this week for sure.
Well, they're going to be
Absolutely.
throwing it the whole game probably. So
Also, Buffalo's coming off of a humongous, emotional Super Bowl of their season, and now they're traveling all the way down south to Miami to play a 1:00 game against the Miami Dolphins and the Florida Heat in November on the sideline that gets absolutely zero shade.
do the Dolphins win outright or just cover, Jeff?
I will have a sprinkle in there. I'll sprinkle in there on the money line, but I do like the cover here. I do also think this game is just a points fest in a sense. I think if you're going to do some anytime touchdown bets, focus on this game because I think there will be a lot of scoring here.
Now, I mentioned the Dolphins here, Jeff. Were you surprised that the Dolphins were not big sellers here at the trade deadline?
What do you want them to sell? They sold Jalen Phillips at the trade deadline.
Jalen Waddle. There's some other defensive pieces that they could have got rid of. I know
you're not tearing it all the way down, especially when you're bringing back the same regime next year. This is what it is.
It is what it is. That's for sure. The Arizona Cardinals headed to Seattle for a divisional matchup. 6.5 is the point here. Cardinals going with Jacoby Myers. We mentioned that beforehand.
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. See, it's the love of the team, bro. Going into
if you guys don't take a Jacoby Myers anytime touchdown this week, I don't know. The signs, as Jersey Jerry would say, the signs are there.
The signs are there. He's on my bench.
Keeps on saying Jacoby Myers over and over and over again.
The signs are he's on my bench. We talked about I love the Carolina Panthers against the Cowboys. I thought that they could win outright, let alone cover. I just took them straight on the cover. Obviously, that worked out. Now, I've said it before, and I've been saying it the whole time. I think Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback right now than Kyler Murray. That doesn't mean that I think that he's better overall. That he's not a starting quarterback for a reason, but he gives him the best chance. And I really feel like that Kyler Murray can't see over the offensive line. He can't see down the field. He's just, and a lot of those balls that he throws up, it's just boom, it's just okay. Like, hopefully the guy's there. I don't know, man. I think this is a good move for the Arizona Cardinals, a team that has a roller coaster of emotions, decimated by injuries this year. They're headed again to Seahawks here at 6.5. I think that it's going to be a football game, Jeff. I think they're going to play a football game in Seattle this week.
Maybe. Jacoby Brissett reminds me of is Andy Dalton. It's like a guy gets hurt, Andy Dalton steps in, plays great. And then they're like, you know what, Andy, you've been playing so good, you're going to be the starter. And what happens? Just falls off of a fucking cliff. And I saw some throws from Jacoby Brissett last week that were
they were scary.
Abhorrent. They were so bad, bro. There were some throws that were so bad last week.
Working out the kinks.
Right, sure. I can't get that shit out of my head. I'm starting Seattle's defense in multiple leagues.
Well, let me put.
Maybe it'll be a defensive struggle game, and we get there based off of that. I don't want to take a spread here at all.
I'm not even touching the game.
I don't.
I
couldn't tell you in any.
But this has got to be a 4.
Score.
This has got to be a 4:00 game though, so we'll just see how the 1:00 games go.
Oh, and then absolutely, it'll definitely be a kicker parlay. I have no clue what's going to go on. We're going to put both kickers in to hit 2 field goals. Call it beautiful.
A day. The LA Rams are headed down to San Francisco. Jeffrey, the Rams favorite here by 4.5. No Brock Purdy again, I believe.
It might be
what are we doing?
Might be a mutiny going on. And
you think so?
San Francisco, and I don't know what they do.
Do you think the players are calling for it, or who?
Nah, I think this is a coaching thing, personally. But
I
just think Mac's rolling right now, and they're looking at it as like
he loved Mac Jones.
Yeah, this is tough, man. You just signed Brock. What do you do? Do you think the Jets want Brock Purdy?
No, not with that contract.
You just shed a bunch of cap space.
I don't think so.
This is tough. But in terms of this game specifically, give me the LA Rams.
I definitely think at the end of this year, Mac Jones will be a starting quarterback somewhere.
To me,
there it is again, though. We talked about this before with the San Francisco 49ers and plugging any quarterback in and having success. Jimmy Garoppolo,
Sam Darnold.
Mac Jones, Brock Purdy. To me, it's just it's a system, right? And that's what we've been saying for a long time. Brock Purdy has some good skills, but he seems to be put in the best situation possible. So we'll see.
Chad, I get it. I just I think that they got caught off guard at home. And I think when they got beat by San Francisco, this was a circle your calendar game for the LA Rams. And this is a huge divisional game as well, too, for this division. I get all that. I get everything. I understand. It's the same thing I said last week about, the Buffalo and the Kansas City thing. There's nobody who wants to bet the other side here, in my opinion. Like nobody should have wanted to bet Buffalo last week, but a lot of people did, and it was just a spot. I think this is just a spot for the LA Rams, and I think it's a get right, get back thing for them. And I think, like we said, hungry dogs eat. I think Jared Verse will have a game, Braden Fisk will have a game. I think Stafford's locked in.
Yeah. Puka Nacua is going to eat this game, boys. I'm just going to put that out there.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he is playing.
I know he left last game, so.
Yeah, chest injury, but he's definitely playing. Lions headed to Washington. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels avoids IR, possibly week 13, potentially coming back. Why even bother? This is what I'm assuming the public is just going to absolutely murder here. Lions -7.5. I would have to think that thing gets to 8.5, maybe even 9 by all the public money. It's on 8 on OddsShark. I could definitely see it going higher. And I don't know, Jeff, if it gets to 9, is that when it starts getting interesting?
It's at 8 now. It's at 8 now. So this would normally be like it'd be like an auto fade of the Lions because it's golf outdoors and
Washington defense is terrible though.
I always exactly. And that's the issue. And the other issue is that the Lions have not lost back-to-back games since like 2022, something like that. And so obviously Dan Campbell coming off a loss. It seems like an automatic play, but there's something weird about Washington at 4:00.
Yep. I don't like it. If it gets bought to 9, I'm thinking so. Yeah. Don't need to
let's see what Chad say. Chad said, I hate it as I have Rams Bucks and NFC Championship. I've been following my issues rule for a long time and has been very profitable. Sometimes I bite my mouth a little when I'm making the bet. Yeah. I understand that.
I'm just the feel guy.
I don't know. For me, it just seems like what I'm going to say is this. You're probably right. Like the 4.5 is probably too much on the Rams line. I think there's going to be a few teams in here that I literally just take the money line. Because I don't want to deal with the 4.5 or the 3.5 or whatever it is. The Bucks will be one. I'll just take on the money line. The Rams will probably be one. I'll just put on the money line. There's just certain spots where I feel like they're not going to win, or they are going to win, but they probably aren't going to cover. Seahawks -6.5. I might just put in like Bears -4. I don't want to play the 4, but I think the Bears are going to win the game. So. I don't know. There's a lot of those weird lines this week, I feel like.
Last game on the docket, Sunday, Steelers headed to the Chargers. Chargers -2.5, so this is basically a pick 'em. Obviously, the big news here, Joe out for the season.
Yeah.
And we have not seen them play very well when they don't have Joe out. I do believe they lost another of their offensive line. They did make a trade.
And they got Trevor Penning in from the Saints. A pretty good tackle.
Nice addition. To me, though, you're throwing this guy in there right away. I'm not sure how complicated the offensive line is for Jim Harbaugh's system, but to me, it's kind of hard to run all of the plays, especially if you're pulling tackles, things of that nature. Biggest thing here is you got to keep Justin Herbert upright if you can. Obviously, we see what's happened here, but the Steelers are coming off a big win where the defense actually showed up, and the defense that we thought was going to be there all year. This to me is just one of those games. I just have no feel for it. No, nothing whatsoever. The numbers will tell you it's probably still the Chargers here. But I just don't have a feel for this one.
Yeah, I like the Chargers here. Might be another one where, like I said, I don't take the 2.5, but I am taking the money line. And I'm just thinking that they're going to win and kind of keep it moving. This is going to be a good game, though. This is a huge game, honestly, for our bet. So, yeah.
You hope the Steelers win.
No.
I thought you needed the Steelers.
I do, but the Steelers are going to win the division anyway. I need the Chargers to win. And the Chargers need to win the division, too.
Well, let's talk Survivor here.
With the Broncos just running away right now, it's...
Let's talk a little Survivor here to finish up our NFL. We do have Monday Night Football, Eagles, Packers. We'll be breaking that down on Monday. That's probably going to be the game of the week, obviously. Let's talk a little Survivor here for a second, Jeffrey. I'm just going to rip off some of the favorites that I have here. I have the Ravens, the Texans, also the Jags, but whatever. Panthers. I have the Bears. I have the Bills. I have the Seahawks. I have the Lions. And that is it. So you can kind of see where I'm at here when it comes to the Survivor and having some poop teams left.
As much as I hate Goff outdoors, and I think he's a completely different quarterback, and they looked terrible last week on offense as well, too.
Yeah,
I think you ride the trend that they haven't lost back-to-back games in 3 years, and
which is exactly why they will.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And it's finally being talked about. Like, people haven't really talked about it until this year and been like, oh shit, did you see the stat that they've I
to
agree.
Your point, I'm thinking if I can get out of here with the Bears win,
okay,
and keep those, I mean, but to your point, that still leaves me some really good teams left for the next few weeks, and I can't remember which. I think it's not till week 16 is the double pick week.
So then just take the Bears and let's hope for the best.
Yeah, I probably can't. I can't do that though, Jeff. I mean, I'll be in just absolute shambles all day long. And if the Bears lose, and then on top of it, I get knocked out of Survivor, hide the dogs. Me. Yeah, well, that doesn't help my bank account or my self-esteem.
I mean, the
dilemmas
that TJ would give you as well too. I don't know. I don't know if you want to live with that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Whatever. Let's get into it. The NCAA football rankings are upon us. And, of course, they did not disappoint with their, positions. Let's get into it, Jeffrey. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3, Texas A&M. 4, Alabama. 5, Georgia. 6, Ole Miss. 7, BYU. 8, Texas Tech. 9, Oregon, and 10, Notre Dame. Any issues with your top 10 of the college football standings?
No.
I think my only one is BYU, which we've talked about this before, especially when it was Boise State in the same area, right? When they were 8-0, but no competition. They're just ranked that high. We do have number 8, BYU versus Texas Tech this week. Which
it's going to play out anyway.
Right, which kind of goes to my point. You have the 7 versus the 8 home field. Okay, if you're going to give the home field another 3 points, they're supposed to win by 3. Okay, so maybe 6.5. This line is 10.5 towards Texas Tech. So to me, if Texas Tech can cover this and they blow out BYU, that drops them all the way completely out of any playoff contention. Do you agree with that take, Jeffrey?
What time is this game at?
That I am unaware of.
12 o'clock?
Well, I mean, yeah, it is.
Why?
Well,
I don't understand why they do this. Like, why do you have a BYU team playing at noon? I don't know. It's whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. But I mean, it should be a good game. We said Texas Tech, one of the best portal classes that there was. Spent a ton of money. So one of the highest NIL programs in all of college football.
Texas has got money, Jeff. I mean, you think about it. You got Texas A&M, Texas Tech, all just sitting there and all just throwing bags. Just throwing bags, man. That oil money.
Baylor's been decent this year as well, too. If you look at it, SMU, who just came out, who's in the middle of Dallas, who, obviously has been pretty good the past few years as well. Yeah. It's definitely
Jeff, is there a path? Is there a path for Miami to make the playoffs?
No.
Miami's out, huh?
For the simple fact that Notre Dame is ahead of them already.
Which is weird because obviously they lost to them head to head.
Correct. So if let's say Miami was 12 and Notre Dame was 13, I would say absolutely. But the fact that Miami is 18 and Notre Dame is 10, where are you giving wins for the committee to say, okay, great job, let's go ahead and bump you up a little bit?
Well, you know my take on Notre Dame. I think they're ranked a little high. Now, again, schedule, you can only play who that. You had your 2 ranked games were both the first 2 of the year, and you lost them both. So you have looked really good since against cupcake teams and teams that aren't at that level. But this is where I go off the rails a little bit. I could see them sneaking into 10 or 12. I apologize. But you had two games. You couldn't lose them both. If you just win one of the games, you're in no matter what. You lost them both. And they're still going to give you and let you slide in there like that and give you a decent seat. I mean, you're in the top 10. But to your point, we got the eyeball test, Jeffrey. The eyeball test. And they are definitely looking good right now. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
And look, we said this, right? Like what you're going to have is out of the top 12, you'll have the ACC champion. You'll have the highest group of 5. You'll have the Big 12. You'll have Notre Dame. And then it'll be 4 and 4 for Big 10 and SEC teams.
Jeff, do you favor college playoffs where there's no automatic bids for conference champions?
Do I favor a college football playoff where there's no automatic bids for conference champions? No. I think that conference champions should get in.
Are you worried that because Florida State would never get in?
I think that it's going to suck because you're going to have instances where you have somebody who sneaks into a championship game who maybe is a much lesser team than the team that they're playing, who's ranked higher, and the team that sneaks in the championship game ends up winning, they automatically get an automatic bid. And so because of that, now you come to this conversation of like, does this dominant ACC or Big 12 team that just got beat in their conference championship game deserve to get left out? And that becomes a really tough situation as well, too. Like I've said for the entire year and last year, you're either in one of 2 big conferences and everything else is just second-rate conferences. You're either in the Big 10 or you're in the SEC. If you're not, then you're looked down upon.
And that's where I'm just like, to me, yeah. I fully support the geographical conferences. 4 total conferences. That's it. 4 total conferences. I don't think you need all this other shit. You don't need all this other stuff. 4 total conferences. Let's get it on.
So are you going to break up the Big 10 and the SEC?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, first of all, the Big 10 to me is just an asinine that we have. Literally, you have Maryland and USC or whatever. Like,
do you think I've seen some things? Do you think that there's any air under the ESPN is in trouble from Disney? That Disney is not happy with the direction of ESPN, with the way it's gone, with the way that it's developed in terms of not being up to date, what all the drama and everything that's unfolded between now YouTube and between, even Spectrum last year, cutting ESPN right before kickoff of the very first game of Florida and Utah to now this year, what we're dealing with YouTube and ESPN and the package. And I don't know. Do you think? I don't think that there's any way that Disney would ever get rid of ESPN. But there seems to be a few stories out there saying that they could see ESPN getting bought and purchased and let go by Disney. And then where does that leave the SEC, the ACC? Where does that leave the college football playoff? How does that all tie in? And there's a lot of working factors that go into that. So I don't know. Do you have any opinion on that?
Well, I definitely feel like you got to remember Disney acquired ESPN and ABC and that whole conglomerate a few years ago. So there is a portion when you buy a company as far as scouting out your P&Ls and really starting to dig through, which takes a lot of time, right? And I do know that they're finding some bloat, which obviously anything does. But when you turn a company like that and like ESPN and you're automatically looking for an EBITDA increase or to build your bottom line, there's going to be issues. And that's just the way it is. So to your point, I don't know what Disney's plan is. Is Disney planning to hold it for the long time? Let's be honest. The sports world runs through ESPN. You can say whatever about Fox, whatever. The sports world runs through ESPN. I don't think that they want to give up that control. regardless of what's happening. Now,
and maybe it's just me too, but like I haven't been impressed with Disney Plus or, in terms of coming up with originals or reasons for me to want to have it after my kids are getting to a certain age. It's like,
the actual Disney streaming platform, to me, yes, that's terrible. And that, I gotta watch what I say. I mean, it's just like it's a money grab, right? I mean, you started off with the pay package. Even if you buy the bottom level, they're still throwing ads in movies.
Yeah,
that's a money grab.
They just doubled the price of it as well too.
Well, yeah, it's just a money grab because they're failing at so many other levels, especially with the parks and everything else. They've increased prices there. They increased prices of tickets. They increased all of the food and beverage prices. Everything got increased because they have to squeeze out money for the shareholders. And this is where I feel like, with our world and our economy and everything that's going on, is we have people talking about free stuff, doing this, doing that. And it's all about the bottom line, man. It's all about the stock price and the investors. And guess who is all tied into that? Everyone with their hand out saying, we need this, tax the rich. Okay. So, with what you just saw in New York, with what's happening, right? They're talking about raising the corporate tax level in New York to match New Jersey from 7.5% to 11.5%. Everybody's cheering them. But yet you're also criticizing Trump for putting tariffs in because tariffs raise prices. Well, if you raise the corporate tax in New York, which is obviously the capital of our entire system, everything runs through New York. Do you not think that all of the prices are going to go up again? Like, it's just idiot math, right? No, well, you raise the taxes on corporations, it's not going to, no prices are going to go up. But yes, if you put tariffs on all the price, like, how does one work without the other? So I think at the end of the day, it's a complete money grab. And it has been, and it will continue to be until we just say, hey, that's it. But we'll never do that, right? We'll never get together. We cannot band together anymore. There's far few things in this country that have been ever banded before outside of 9/11, which now that would not even probably band us together anymore. So until that happens, to your point, I just feel like, everything's a money grab, man. Just raise prices. Let's not look at our operational excellence, not look where we can streamline things. Nah, just give them a 15% increase. We'll be good.
I don't know. We went from could the college ball playoff get dismantled in some form or another if ESPN gets sold off to
economics.
Where we just got there. Also, congratulations to the new mayor of New York as well too, Mandami. You honestly say what you want. The guy ran a great campaign. The guy is electric. He's a talker. He went out and he reached people. So was Trump. He literally
they all are.
Ripped the playbook from the guy and did a lot of the same tactics.
I find it hilarious when you look at news organization, regardless of whatever they're talking to, whoever they're supporting, right? Whether it's Trump, whether it's anybody like, oh yeah, love Trump, love Mondami. Really, which one of his policies do you love? And they're like,
let's let him try to implement his policies first before we criticize him. We've seen what
I'm
the
not
ideas
criticizing
are.
Anybody. I don't live there. I could care less.
Oh, I don't live there either. And that's the one thing is that I don't live in New York.
But I will tell you that my livelihood runs through New York,
years.
and I am concerned.
And I think it's exciting. I think it's something new. I think it's new ideas. I think if you look at much like the last election, the different elections that we've been through as well too, look at the options that they were given in New York, right?
Jeff, I will contradict you here. There's nothing exciting about socialism.
I think we need it every 20 to 30 years to reset, to just see if maybe it can work somewhere. Let's go through a social experiment together.
Go ahead and look at Venezuela.
Let's see what happens. Let's see how everything plays out. Give it a chance. Obviously there's steps and balances and checks and balances to all these systems. And yeah, let's see what happens. I'm excited for it.
There's nothing outside of
because I live in Florida, I'm excited for it.
Well, you shouldn't be, and just for the reasons that I reverbed around is the lifeblood of the economics and the capitalistic society runs through New York, brother. And then when all of these New Yorkers flee and come down here, and it continues to raises our prices, raises our property taxes. Yeah,
we're getting rid of property taxes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There's too many idiots in Florida that are going to vote to pay more money, and those are the idiots that are paying like $1,500 a year.
No.
Yeah, step in my world, mofos.
No, they won't.
Anyway, let's get back into
that'll get like 80% of the vote. We'll be fine.
Okay. I've been on some of the boards, bro. It's just wild to hear what people talk about. Let's get back into some football here. Let's close out the NCAA football before we just go completely off our economic tangent. Florida headed to Kentucky this week, coming off that heartbreaking loss against Georgia. Florida favored by 3.5 here. I really liked what I saw of the Florida Gators last week. Just a few mistakes. I think the new coach will help clean those up a little bit. DJ Lagway will get it dialed in. For the Gator fans that are trying to give up on DJ Lagway already, like, bro, just you're the reason why everybody hates us. Like, just sit back. We're not doing shit this year anyway. Let him play it out. And then at the end of the day, tell me who's better. Who are you going to go get? What, you want to go pay somebody a couple extra million from somewhere else? Then pony up the dough, brother. Otherwise, shut up. Yeah. Florida State headed to Clemson, Jeffrey. Big game for the Florida State Seminoles. Clemson favored by 1.5 here, Jeff.
Is it a big game?
I think it is for your Florida State Seminoles. You got to be fighting for pride at some point here.
Yeah, sure.
Outside of the Florida game,
Clemson,
that would be a game.
Clemson looks like they're in more of a situation. We just came off of a win against Wake Forest. It's all kumbaya. Everything's great. Mike's amazing. Everybody who's ever played for Mike Norvell absolutely loves him. He's a great guy, salt of the earth. In no way should he ever be fired. I think it's a bunch of Fugazi, fucking Donnie Brasco bullshit, honestly, in my opinion. And you're going into Clemson and you're going to go play them at night, and you're going to play in an environment that is going to be thirsty for blood, an environment that is desperate for a win, an environment where you have a wounded animal in a corner, and what they're going to do is they're going to fight back. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a good game. I think what Clemson has struggled at a lot, Florida State can kind of capitalize on. But we haven't seen that they can scheme stuff up good enough to be able to capitalize on anything that somebody does bad. So I don't know.
Could be an interesting game. We already talked about the BYU. Georgia headed to Mississippi State. This is a sneaky one for Georgia. Georgia is favored by 9.5 here. But I'm going to tell you, don't count your eggs before they're hatched there, Georgia fans. Florida Gators had you exposed, and Mississippi is playing better than the Florida Gators are at this one. I expect this to be a little bit closer than 10.
Should be a good game.
Should be. Another game I have circled here, Jeff. I don't know if you were continuing there, if that was just the ultimate pause.
I don't have an opinion on Georgia and Mississippi State. No.
Another game I do have circled is number 2, Indiana headed to Penn State. I am putting Indiana officially on upset alert here, even though they are 14.5-point favorites. Penn State needs to find something. They need to find something that shows that they're valuable. This would be a way to do it. This would be a way to increase your recruiting class, the whole 9 yards. You got to show up against Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, Penn State, who's lost, 5 in a row now to go. I don't see any hope for them. If you want to take Penn State, take them first half.
Definitely not taking them.
But
I don't even bet on college football anymore. It's just a pain in the ass. Oregon headed to Iowa, 6.5 favorites here. I'd see. Does that line seem a little low, Jeffrey, or is it just because it's in Iowa?
It's in Iowa. It's a grinded out, slow it down game. Dante Moore gonna have to do some stuff with his legs. So.
Texas A&M headed to Missouri. Upset watch here, Jeffrey, at 6.5.
Texas A&M, too good coach by Mike Elko. I don't know. I don't see them losing.
I do believe Missouri has really got a freshman quarterback this game as well, correct? Their quarterback's out.
It's fun.
Good time.
Line's gone from 4.5 to 6.5, so most of the money coming in on
LSU headed to Alabama. Jeff, number 4 Alabama favorite here by 9.5. Does LSU have a shot here, or is this just a walk in the park for the Roll Tide?
No, they absolutely have a shot here. I think this is regardless of what you would say, this is a huge rivalry game, and it'll be played as such. I get that it's in Tuscaloosa. I get that it's going to be a huge recruit game. I'm just not counting LSU out of this one.
You never know when this sneaky thing's going to happen, Jeff. Anything to wrap us up here with the NCAA football?
Nothing at all.
NCAA basketball has tipped off. A couple good games to start with. The defending champ Florida Gators go down off the first game of the year, but it doesn't really matter in basketball. Just keep it up. Jeff, how are the Florida State Seminoles looking this year? What are they expected to do? This isn't a troll. I just genuinely do not know.
I don't know. I think we'll be okay. We have a new coach in Luke Laux. Luke Laux, who is replacing Leonard Hamilton, who has been there for a very, very long time. Luke Laux.
Get fired?
They mutually parted ways.
I was going to say, I thought he had some success over there.
He did. He's pretty old, and his schemes and everything are pretty outdated. Luke Laux played for Leonard Hamilton, had a really good run with Florida State, 12, 13 years ago, maybe something like that. Got out of basketball, went into coaching, was coaching for the Kings, coached for the Golden State Warriors, won an NBA championships with the Warriors as well, too. I believe as an assistant. And now, he's the head coach of FSU. So we'll
Why
see
can I not even see FSU anywhere on the schedule?
On your schedule?
Yeah. The ACC, right?
We are in the ACC, yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Oh, there they are. You got Alabama State today. Hey, you're 1-0, Jeffrey. Look at you. Hey, ride it out. Ride it out like Costanza, Jeffrey.
I'm not, yeah.
Also, NBA has tipped off, and the Chicago Bulls are off to one of the best starts in the league. What was that?
I don't know. Hassan Reddick, Watts, linebacker, Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin, all out for Sunday. Are we just like slow playing this? I don't understand what we're doing here.
What?
I don't know.
With the Bucks game?
Yeah, all these guys should be back hypothetically. Like
I don't think you need them back.
Was in their timetable was.
I don't think you need them back though, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're sitting at the top of this conference 6-2. Who are you afraid of? The Carolina Panthers sneaking up on you?
You still have to play them twice. 2 out of the last 3 games of the year.
And do you think that you will not be favored in both of those games?
No, we will. But
I thought Shedeur Sanders was always number 2.
What?
3 times put in the private chat, Shedeur Sanders elevated to number 2 on the depth chart for this week. I thought he was the number 2.
They were back and forth with him and Bailey Zappi.
F1 heads to your home country of Brazil, Jeffrey. You going to be tuning in this week?
What time's it at?
Sprint qualifying is on right now. So I don't really want to look at that. So let me see if I can go over here to get the schedule without seeing. Actually, Jeremy, can you look that up? Can you see what time that starts? I really don't want to look at this because it's going to ruin my sprint qualifying. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can see it on the score app without. No. Is that going to show me? Okay.
What day is it? Is it Sunday?
Sunday. It looks like 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock p.m.
Yep. So look at that.
4
we'll have the race.
Brazil.
So we'll have the race right before football. It's going to bleed in, though. That's not really good. I don't have enough TVs for that.
Figure it out.
I'm going to have to get another TV in here somehow. That's going to do it for us today on the Uninformed Fan.
Shout out to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you, Chad. Appreciate you, Justice. Ian, just, I don't know, keep treading water.
Hey, why don't you go play Battlefield with your friends every once in a while, Jeff? Stop being a paper friend.
Can I tell you why I don't like playing Battlefield?
Sure. Jeremy, you coming in? Go ahead.
I haven't bought the game, and Battlefield is very predicated on being able to get your loadout.
What happened here? Oh, there it goes.
Because
so it's not a true battle royale.
It is. But you get a loadout drop, and the guns that you need are very OP, and the guns that you want are not automatically dropped onto the map. So for me, I don't want to go get bodied and get pissed off.
So it's the same thing with Call of Duty. You got to go in these stupid things and level up guns to get the best guns to build your loadout, and then you can play. Yeah, screw that, dude. No. Yeah. I actually stopped gaming, bro. I stopped. I've been stopped for quite a while. And then the Apex lull has really
Battlefield is very Apexy, by the way. I don't know if you've watched any of it, but
now Nick's been playing this new game.
Arc Raiders.
He said he absolutely loves. I don't know. Have you watched? Have you played that one?
Nah, it's on PC.
Well, you have a PC, do you not?
I am on a PC now. Yes.
Well, there you go.
Jeremy, anything we missed?
I could have swore he was on.
I am on.
No, I'm talking about. I thought Nick was live.
No, I'm just updating everything. Yeah, Aaron Glenn won't name a starter. That's confirmed. Not yet. TJ Edwards had surgery on his hand. He'll still play. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, good to go. DeAndre Swift, good to go.
Did Odunze get because I saw he was still questionable on the fantasy. So did that tag get dropped today?
He was in practice today. Full.
Beautiful.
Gonna be
I
a
looked
full
at my
day.
fantasy lineup, and so what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. So basically 8, right? Not counting the defense. And I think I had 6 of them all questionable.
Have you seen this guy that they stream with? Peanut?
I think I've heard of him.
He's like he's like an automated graphic, and the guy talks, and it looks. Like
I did.
Peanut that's talking.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I didn't realize that was a thing, though.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
everything's
this, for this weekend.
What's
You're
this
what?
weekend?
I get to watch football for the first time all season on a Sunday. I'm off.
Oh, look at you.
Did a little traderoo. Worked
So that
last
means
night.
I'm definitely not taking the Bears this week.
Yeah, make sure you take the Bears in Survivor.
Great.
I'm
What
in
could go wrong?
shambles. I'm
I
in
know,
shambles, dude.
I know. I'm the cooler. It's me.
Right.
No, it's just the law. Like I've been doing well with my bets lately, and actually my feelings have been working, and it's just like I can't get kicked in the nuts twice, dude. I
Go
guess
with
I'll
your
just,
gut, Ty.
I'll just take the Bills. Whatever.
Don't
But I feel like everybody's gonna take the Bills.
don't take the Bills. I think Miami has a sneaky chance in that game.
I just don't like anything.
Buffalo plays like ass down there every single time, and it's always a tough game. It's always tight. It always comes down to the very end. It's always a lot of points being scored. Look at the history.
Wow, there was a bunch of people that took to Denver last night. Wow, there was 4 people that took Denver last night.
How many are
would've
left?
been- There is, I think, 24.
Oh, nice. You're down to the nitty gritty.
22, including me. Yeah, so that's why it's like, what are you gonna do? I'm sure I'll be sending you a text to talk about it, Jeff. Actually, I had put in Detroit is who I put in.
I don't mind that either.
Yeah,
Like I said, you take the trend of them not losing back-to-back games, and
if they lose to the Commanders, bro, like, come on, what is life?
fix is in. That's what they were saying too. That the fix was in last night because everybody took, nobody was taking.
Amber Denver.
Yeah, everybody hammered Denver, and then it was like, oh, we'll just sprinkle a little bit on the Raiders money line. And it's like, oh, just make sure neither happens.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, that's going to do it for us today on the Uninformed Fan. We appreciate everybody coming in. Be sure to follow TikTok and the socials. If you happen to be driving over the weekend, please, for the love of God, stay out of the left-hand lane.
Be great. Good
Bear
luck
down.
this week.